The first thing I noticed about Mason wasn't his eyes, though they did linger, catching the light in a way that felt like a challenge. It wasn't even his voice, low and textured, slipping my name into sentences with a practiced confidence. No, it was the way he listened, to me, to anyone. He looked at you as if every word mattered. It was startling at first. I'd spent years blending in, moving through the endless hum of office life, eyes on monitors, polite nods, keeping secrets to myself. But Mason seemed immune to that world. He had a reputation. Relentless in the boardroom, generous at company parties, and, if the rumors held even a fraction of truth, strictly off limits. Everybody wanted to get close, but nobody did. Except me, maybe, by accident. Monday mornings at Penrose and Tyler meant too strong coffee, yawning through budget slides, and the lottery of who'd sit closest to Mr. Tyler, the part owner, the legend, my new boss. I got lucky, or unlucky depending how you frame it, when Janine from HR left for maternity leave and her chair became a relic beside his at meetings. For weeks, I tried to ignore the magnetism. I convinced myself that the warmth on my cheeks when he laughed at my joke was just the room being stuffy, that the pulse in my wrists had nothing to do with the way his gaze caught mine across the glass table, that the slight catch in his voice when he asked, "Stay after? I have a project for you," meant nothing at all. We never did anything wrong. It was always meetings, a review of proposals, shared notes over late takeout, our laughter echoing in the empty office. Still, there were moments, quiet pauses between sentences, fingertips brushing as papers exchanged hands, that unspoken something blooming in the space between our sighs. One Thursday night in October, the city swallowed the dusk early, rain tracing rivers across Mason's office window. I was wrapping up a presentation, nerves strung tight. He said, breaking the quiet, "Riley, I liked the piece," I answered, avoiding his eyes. He was silent for a moment. I could feel his attention, the way it lingered filled the room. I barely dared to move. I replied, voice barely above a whisper. Mason crossed to stand by me, closer than usual. He asked, but the question seemed heavier than it sounded. My mouth went dry. I nodded, managing a smile. "Mason, as Mason. Good, we need your kind of energy." Then softer still, the air between us nearly buzzed. If anyone looked in, they'd just see two colleagues at the tail end of a long day. But if you listened, really listened, you'd hear what wasn't said. I gathered my things, the trembling in my hands betraying me.
Good night, Mason.
Good night, Riley.
His eyes found mine. As I walked out, his reflection shimmered against the glass, watching me go. That weekend, I tried not to think about him. Failed. Monday morning, he arrived late. His hair was damp from the rain, suit slightly rumpled. In the meeting, he sat across from me, not beside. I wondered if I'd done something wrong, or if he was merely trying to keep what we had from looking like anything at all. At lunch, my phone buzzed.
Could use your eyes on the Baxter proposal. 6:15 tonight, my office?
My heart stuttered. I texted back, keeping my reply neutral, professional. Beneath it all, anticipation coiled in my stomach. The office was almost empty by 6 o'clock. At 6:15, I knocked.
Come in.
He called. The lights were dim, rain a steady hush against the window. The room felt smaller than usual. Mason looked tired, softer in the evening glow.
Do you ever wish things were simpler?
He said as I sat, skipping preamble. I hesitated. Something in his tone was new, vulnerable and raw. "Riley, sometimes," I said quietly. He leaned forward, elbows on his desk, hands together. He trailed off. "Riley, if what? Mason, if I let myself want this?" He looked up at me, and for a heartbeat, every mask he'd ever worn slipped away. The air cracked open, filled with 1,000 possibilities and 100 risks. I thought about rumors, HR policies, the difference between wanting and taking. "Riley, you're my boss." "Mason, I know." He nodded just once. Our eyes lingered for a moment too long, each of us suspended between longing and reality. I realized then, the greatest temptations aren't the ones that break us, but the ones that reveal us.
I need you to tell me if I'm seeing things that aren't there, Riley.
You're not.
I swallowed, telling the truth even when it scared me. We stood at the edge, one step, and everything would change. One word, and all the lines would blur. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Charlotte from accounting, I recognized the voice. Mason and I leapt apart, just in time for her to appear in the doorway.
Oh, sorry, am I interrupting?
Mason steadied himself. His voice was all business, face unreadable. But as I left, I felt his gaze press into my back, pulsing with everything we hadn't said. That night I received a text. Anonymous, no name attached. Anonymous text. Some lines once crossed can never be uncrossed, but some regrets last a lifetime. Would you rather risk a heart or keep it safe? I stared at the message, breathless. My finger hovered over the reply. When attraction becomes forbidden, what would you risk for a chance at something real? If you were Riley, would you take the leap? What would you do?